Welcome to Mentality, the first ever male-only show on TV that seeks to break the myth that you can only have mainstream talk on TV. On Mentality, we tackle issues that relate to men but affect women. Topics that are considered taboo: men and contraceptives, men and trophy women, men and why they cheat. My name is Ian Bogua, and my co-hosts, as usual, starting on the far right, the ever-vocal Edward Quach. Next to him, sitting in for Pastor S, is Pastor Pete Odera. Welcome, Pete.
Thank you very much, Ian.
Tonight on the show, we tackle the ever-controversial issue of success. Should you, as a man, marry or even consider going into a relationship with a woman who earns more than you? To set the tone for the discussion, we sought the thoughts of men on the streets.
According to the African context, I think women are not supposed to earn more than men. But now in this new age, I think it's just the thing. So you cannot escape it.
To be the head does not mean that I have to be having a lot more money than the woman I have married. Yeah.
Really, I will feel very uncomfortable because she'll be like the husband, you know. Of course, she'll be donating more to the house. So if she can even throw me out, and I mean, you have to be the man, you know, to earn more money.
So, gentlemen,
Right.
let's go on to the topic.
Would you marry a woman who's more successful than you?
That's the question.
Ian, would you deliberately throw yourself in a pit full of hungry crocodiles?
Why do you consider that?
Listen, do you know there's an adage that goes that behind every successful man
There's a woman.
Okay, have you had it said vice versa? Never ever.
That was done by a male chauvinist pig.
I know a lot of my peers, guys said, you know what, we're educated. Let's do this. Let's try and get in what we call conglomerates, okay? Me, I'm so-and-so. Let me marry a woman who's as successful as I am. Not a single one of them are still together. Z, her job is to be behind you.
The truth is this: the way life is today, you're going to find women who will succeed and do better than men, financially and politically. But we really must come to the real core of the issue. The issue isn't about money or success. It's about mentality.
Pete, I think if I'm getting the premise right, it's this. If now we meet today, it's day one, all right? And then I meet this mama and she's got more color than I have, okay? Would I then go into a relationship with that woman?
Is your relationship based on money, or is it based on mutual understanding? Because a real relationship, the basis of any relationship is trust. And if you don't have trust between you, it doesn't matter what you make.
One thing the guys always say, and it's always constant. Listen, Muse, you guys, there's just two things you must do for your woman, okay? To keep her, otherwise it's just gonna be like a mosquito in your ear. Make sure you lay the pipe, okay? And number two, provide for her. Not that she provides for you.
Please, you don't want graphic.
You must have sexual relations with your woman.
Absolutely.
Okay?
I'll tell you as a pastor, you must.
No, lakini trust has got nothing to do with it, Baba.
It does.
Just make sure you chew nicely, okay? And then you provide for her.
Let's go back. Yes.
Now, when you talk about successful women, and you talk about successful women in politics, successful
Still need to be protected, still need to be provided.
She can still earn more than you,
Or Nobel
but
Peace
you
Prize
are still the man.
Right.
Circumstances can happen that she earns more than you.
In actual fact,
And you are still the man. I'm sure you counsel people before they get married.
Absolutely.
And one of the things you talk about is finance, because that's very
I
important.
say to them, guys, you need to provide. Guys, you need to provide for the woman. You need to protect her, and you need to physically, you need to have sex and please this woman. And it's not really about sex, because many women will tell you it's not just about sex. It's about being caring, being there for her. And I think these are important things to women. But the deal is this, because that's not the subject of our conversation today.
Is not. Right.
The subject of our conversation, as you're saying, is that if a woman has more money than you or more influence than you, that you should be, this is what we're saying, that we should be intimidated and just bow down and say, we shouldn't be intimidated. In fact, what we should be is we should prop them, because the deal is when she comes home, she's not Mheshimiwa so-and-so. When she comes home, she's just
She's your
sweetheart.
wife. She's a
babe.
housewife.
She's
She's
honey.
a mother.
She's sugar plum. She's a Sally, whatever it is to you.
I'm sorry.
And
Which movie was that you? What movie was that from?
That is the way it is. That's not a movie. That's reality. There are
The
men
man
who live like
is the
that.
head
There are
of
men.
the family.
No,
No matter what.
Mr. Quach. I will, by the way.
Listen, Ian, Today in modern Kenyan society, okay, I will talk about basically our Rika. Yes. Sorry, our Rika. Okay. Now, you see, I'm not talking about now when you're counseling these guys and, you know, you tell them, yeah, because vows, I know somewhere they includes for richer, for poorer, sickness. And
Then don't make the vow.
no, I meet this woman today, okay? I'm sitting somewhere, then I see Achille. But I told, where? She's true. Do you know that woman, her Zach or herself is worth, Sijui, a couple of 100 meters.
So you run away?
Okay? Would I deliver? No, I'd go, maybe, I'd go and buy my drink off her, okay?
You're a cheapskate then.
So understand you have color. Throw some at my problem, okay? But then would I propose to her and marry the squeeze? Never, ever, ever. She'll clear you like a chicken sitting on eggs.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. The question that I need to ask is, what kind of man are you?
No. Look.
Because here's the deal. What are you looking for in a relationship?
Man? What
Here's
makes
the
a man?
reality.
Is it
No,
the
what are
money
you
that
looking
makes a
for?
man?
No.
Money doesn't make a man.
You want to be the one. You always need to feel in control.
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
what
a
is
control
wrong
freak.
with you marrying her and then you open a joint
No,
account?
wait,
all
hold
the
on,
money
hold
goes
on,
there,
hold on,
and
hold
you
on.
have
Ian,
you
hang
have
on a
say.
second, hang on a second. Just a second. That thing of control is an illusion. This is something that I just want. It's an illusion because the reality is you're not in control. What are you in control of? You're in control of your money, but who really has the money? The bank has it. The bank can shut down. What are you in control of? Control of nature. You're not. Really, it's an illusion. The reality is this, and this is where I come in and I say, listen, guys, things will happen in your marriage. Stuff will happen in your marriage. And it's happened to me before. You know, at one point you had the job, it was a good job, and then you don't have it anymore.
Absolutely.
These are realities.
Absolutely.
And when those things happen, and she happens to be earning more than you,
What do you do?
If
Divorce?
it's an issue, that's the deal. If it's an issue, then it's an issue.
Ian, there's a rule of thumb that says, right, that whenever you're trying to get into a relationship with somebody, okay, and this is obviously on the assumption that this thing is going to go, yes, that it's going to go, you're going to walk down the aisle eventually, okay? Says never, why do they say never, ever marry somebody who's very far from your socio-economic group, okay?
I don't know
For
where they say
example,
that.
I don't know where you hear that from.
it's very true.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's a rule
You
of
see,
thumb.
Like me from suburbia.
The Royal Church.
What do I say? I would never go and marry a Boch from Dandora. I know guys who basically, this guy, you know, let's say he was lower middle class, okay? And then he married a lady, he did, from one of the top 5%. That thing lasted a world record 6.5 months.
You may come from a different social structure or different different place. The idea is we should be able to come together with understanding. Because when you read the Bible, it says something very interesting. It says, submit one to another out of reverence for Christ. So that woman should come into that relationship not having her money or whatever structure it is in front of her, even though it's a reality. In the same way that a man can use his money to intimidate a woman, says, listen, I did all this for you. Because if the roles were reversed, you understand what I mean?
Yes, but Pete, you see, you lost me when you talk about all that Bible thing,
I lost you, eh?
Yeah.
Hang on, gentlemen, we have to go into a break. We have to go into a break. But before we go into break, later on we'll have a powerful, successful woman come in and give us her views.
I hope she's married to a poorer man, by the way.
Well, we'll find out. You're watching Mentality. Welcome back to Mentality. Tonight we're looking at the issue of success. Would you, as a man, get married to a woman who earns more than you? We've heard what the men have to say. Before I introduce our guest, let's hear what the ladies have to say.
I can marry a man who has less money than me because I don't care about money but love.
Hell no. Because apparently they're supposed to provide for my needs, so he has to earn more than me.
No, because for one, he'll be relying on my salary, on my money. So maybe he can relax and assume I'm be providing everything in the house.
Welcome back. Our guest tonight is Esther Passaris, a successful lady in her own right. Welcome, Esther.
Thank you.
Question for you. Would you marry a man who earns less than you do?
I would marry a man who earns less than me, but he has to be within my league. It can't be that drastically less than me, where I'd need to alter my standard of living and also have to deal with all the other issues. You know, a man who would marry me if he earns less than me would have to be very confident, extremely confident. He has to be a man with or without his wallet.
So you agree that there is absolutely nothing, it has nothing to do with the money?
It's got nothing to do with the money. It's his ego, his confidence, and then also his ability to provide. It's not just about money. I mean, a woman like me who has children, I would need a good father figure. I would need somebody who understands I've had a hard day at work and he's supportive. I'd need somebody who encourages me to get better, not intimidated because I earn more than him, so all he'll do is put me down from morning till evening because it boosts and rubs his ego the right way.
Wouldn't you be tempted to use your money to get your way with him?
No, I don't think so. I think that's cheap. You know, I think it's cheap because you can come up to different scenarios. You could both have money. He could be the breadwinner, and then all of a sudden something happens to him. Exactly. And if your relationship is based on love, then you'll be able to fall in and basically not make him feel intimidated by the fact that you're the breadwinner. Absolutely. All right. So I think it's about how the man treats you. If a man knows how to treat a woman, it wouldn't really matter whether he's bringing in a lot more or less to the table.
Yeah. Because when you are separate, when you get married, what was yours is now, you know.
I'll tell you what.
This is the thing, sorry.
Belongs to both of you.
I think what you're saying is absolutely right, because you can't honestly say those vows and say for richer, for poorer, for better, for worse. And honestly say that without lying.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say the vows for my money. You know, because this is where, I think this is where we have a problem, you know.
No.
So hence she's not married.
No, the money is there for richer, for poorer.
No, but the quality of man also. I mean, a man has got to come into a relationship knowing he has to be the provider, all right? And he has to basically protect his family. Okay. He can't come into the relationship. I mean, right now you've got men who basically look for a successful woman just because she has the money.
Let's be clear. Let's be clear.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I mean, that one definitely not interested.
There I am. I've got myself the co-op loan. Okay. To buy that samba, okay, 300,000, okay. Then I walk into an establishment, and there I found Esther Pasaris. Right. I'm like, hey, and that thing is burning a hole. That 300K, it's burning a hole in my trowel
that you might not be able to block.
Hey, and then I'm seeing here, hey, yellow, fly like hell. So I say, you know what? Can I buy you a meal? And then hold on, then I buy a dish, okay. Then tomorrow, can I buy another meal? 300,000, eh? And then I've got no. 300,000 is a lot of food, by the way. Yeah, it's indeed. No, and then one day, I'm inspired 2 months down the road. Now she's head over heels in love with me. The toys, they like me, But I've not been totally honest with her. Me, I live in Ziwani, out together. And then I come and I propose to her. I'm poor. Okay, but she says yes. Would you still marry me?
Quach, first of all, we wouldn't even be on the same level playing field. We would not meet. Our paths would not cross. You might be my employee. You know, and I would never look at you as a man. And I wouldn't buy your 300,000 shilling shamba either.
This is exactly what I was saying.
You never, ever.
This is exactly.
We wouldn't meet. It's like, you know, I mean, come on. Women of my stature are not going to go out with the milkman. That's your fantasy.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, that's your fantasy.
Thank
you
very
want
much.
a woman not for love. You want a woman to take you up the ladder.
Okay, hold up. Okay,
come on.
Let me say something. You see, this is the question that I was saying before, which I was trying to raise, which is getting obfuscated in the argument. The reality is this. What are your values? You know, your values, if your value is that success is pegged on money, your success is pegged on social status, those are things that can, and the reality is this, in the world we live in, they do change. They do change, and they always do, and this throws a spanner in the works of a marriage. And I feel that if you're never going to give Mr. Ziwani over here the time of day, then I think that No, I understand where you're coming from.
No, but hold on. You always hear of these stories of this prince or this rich man who meets an air hostess or he meets a lady working in a restaurant, and it's a princess story and they fell in love, you know, pretty woman kind of thing. Very rare do you hear a story of a pretty man kind of thing. Okay, I mean, I think this whole idea of marketing yourself as a toy boy, thinking that sex is everything for a woman and your body and your physique is everything, is not a reality. We're looking for a man, first of all, who is man on his own right. He knows his position. He knows how to treat a woman right. Let me tell you something. The most expensive gifts that I have had from a man have never involved money. It's pulling my chair. It's being there to comfort me when I need the comfort. It's being there to take the children on and off school when I can't do it. It's telling me, honey, don't worry, all right? I understand you have to work tonight, all right? Coming back home and rubbing my back because he knows I've had a hard day at work. It doesn't cost money to be a man for a woman. Well, because you from Ziwani are looking to climb up the ladder with a successful
you've got
woman.
ulterior motives.
Yeah, you're not coming for love.
No.
You're not
Maybe
coming for love.
You're a gold digger.
Maybe.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Oh, maybe I
Okay, forget.
When it comes to gold digging, no.
Sorry.
Never ever.
Let me defend my brother a little bit. Maybe he's genuine.
No.
You can't be
What?
No. Oh,
Yes,
you're talking
genuine,
about Quach.
genuine
No.
gold digger.
No, this is just the example. This is just the example. He's. Let's just say there was a forget about that. This is Esther and this is Quach. Let's say there was a genuine person. The reality is this: there are other factors that come into this thing, and I must bring back the Bible here because the reality is this. As a pastor, I see it all the time. We're talking to people all the time. We're engaging them. We say because realities come, and the Bible does say, husbands, wives should submit to their husbands in reverence for the Lord, as unto the Lord. But before that, it says submit to one another. So there must be a submissive attitude that says I'm able to give you a chance even though you come from Ziwani. But the second part of that verse then says, wives, then submit to your husbands. And many women have a problem with that because I'm educated and I'm successful. And this is a reality. But it says as unto the Lord. So the reality is, those are some of the things.
Amen.
But if we have, I got
You're
you saying
just
amen.
twisting it because it suits. You're interpreting it the way that suits you.
Hold up. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Let me go on a little bit. It says then after that, and husbands, love your wives. Love your wives as Christ loved the church. What did Jesus do for the church?
He died.
He died, giving yourself up for her, doing whatever you can to get that and make that woman happy. And the reality is this, what you've said is that if it's a guy from Ziwani and coming to your leagues, the reality is this, that he'd have to struggle. And so there's an understanding that you said.
If he has confidence, it won't be a struggle. He will move in. He won't expect me to go where he is.
Right.
He doesn't lower my standard. He lives into my standard, and he's man enough to accept that I earn more than him, and I have to understand that because I love him, the money is not going to come between us. I let him be a man. Okay, maybe he might take my money and multiply it even more if he uses his brain.
You guys, have we, first of all, now, realistically, okay, do we know anyone who has married a woman who is wealthier than he is, and they're still all good to go?
Oh, yes.
No, and listen, I'm not talking about that example without mentioning any names.
Well,
I know of two stories.
One,
the woman's 106 years old, and then that guy is 13. But you know the story I'm talking about. Okay, then there's another one, and I read in the Gazette the other day, I was like, oh, well, yeah. This guy, she's in her mid-40s, and this guy's
25, 26.
Yeah. Do you know anyone where they're actually the same Rika? They come from the same century, okay?
I do.
And they're married.
Yes.
And they're still married.
And they're still together.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
After 13 years.
After 13 years. What's
Once
wrong with
money
him?
No, there's nothing
the
wrong
most
with
important
it.
thing in
There's
your relationship, then you're doing.
But you can't eat love.
Love conquers
This
all.
is true. Wait. You can't eat love. This is the truth. But the reality is this. What is our measure of success? What is a successful marriage? A successful marriage isn't trophy walking around with a beautiful, she just looks there. There's a lot more to that. Because the reality is this, you will find when people get married, parents die. People lose their jobs. Those kind of things are realities that this particular couple I'm talking about had to walk through. And the reality is
so it's one couple.
No, it's one couple that you asked me, do I know anybody?
No.
Do you ask me, do I know anybody?
Oh, come on.
One.
Yeah. No, there's several. Listen.
Achiel.
You asked me. Yes, Achiel. But the deal is this. I think that we need to come into relationships. Our generation has a very materialistic, our upmarket, a very materialistic attitude of what it is. And the truth is this. If you look at history shows you, if you look at where America was 40, 50 years ago and where they are today, you don't have successful marriages because materialism came in. But when we say, look, I'm going to peg success and my relationship on something other than money, other than sex, these are the things that unfortunately bother our generation. And our generation, the truth is this, we are going to have more divorces, we're going to have more problems.
Because of this issue.
Yes.
No. They're based on the wrong things. The reality is this. At the same time, you will find people who have pegged the success of their relationship on other things. Integrity, caring for one another, fidelity. Those are important things. Am I there for you? Am I there for you? Do I have your 100% back? 110 even sometimes. The deal is those are the things that make longevity. Solid foundations, accountability.
No, but hold on. You know, I think it's important to understand that what makes a relationship. I mean, you meet, you have to have certain things in common. Then you have to like each other's various mannerisms, habits, likes and dislikes.
Yes.
That is the foundation for a relationship. Then the feeling of love comes in, the physical attraction comes in. And then you cannot ignore the lifestyle. Okay, so if you're into this relationship spontaneous, it's I met you, you met me, we have interests in common, we love each other's company, we have the same vision, the same ambitions, I think the relationship has a better chance of standing. But if you're this guy from Ziwani, Kwach, who's just
and looking playing a role, by the way.
You're looking to buy your 300,000 shilling plot, forget it. It's not going to work. And the women of today are not that stupid.
Yes.
We need a lot more than your pecs
Yes.
and your good ability in bed,
Yes.
you know, because you know, you overrate this whole sexuality thing. Love is not about the physical thing. That's just a 5-minute affair.
Yes.
Love is about, no, it's serious. It's a 5-minute affair. Love is about not fathering the child, being the father. All right? And you know, where is daddy? That's love. So if you can just father a child, I mean, you can buy a sperm in a sperm bank. You know, you don't need that. What you need is somebody who is able to love you and treasure you. And that's where the challenge comes in.
That I think is important here. You know, when people come to me for premarital counseling, say, "Oh, Pastor, we want to get married," and they're in love with each other. I say,
you make it look like it's, "Oh, Pastor, we want to get married." It's the woman. Don't the men come and say that too?
Some of them come like that.
The men? Are you serious? No, I mean,
no. I'm kidding. Listen, what I want to say is this: when they say, "Okay, Pastor, we want to get married," I say to them, I ask them. I do this with every couple. Why do you want to get married? Write on a piece of paper 3 reasons why you want to get married. I say, because sometimes they, no, of course, I say, write me right now when you're sitting there 3 reasons. And that comes top of mind, the top 3 things. And usually I say to them, the things on your paper are usually because you're physically attracted to them, you're emotionally involved with this person, and I want to share my life with somebody because I feel, and those are, but I say, listen, it's not enough. Love is not enough. Shared interests are not enough. Even you know, same social status or whatever is not enough, because all these things can change. You need something that's a lot stronger. Those things are important.
Spirituality.
Pastor Pete.
Wait. It's my turn. Give him time.
It's my turn. Wait a minute. Listen. Yeah, no. I should.
I think it's important. Spirituality.
Go on. Those things are important. They contribute to the marriage. I'm not saying they don't. I don't say they don't matter. Yeah. They matter, but those things can change. The stuff that doesn't change is the basis of that relationship. The basis of that relationship, if it is founded on some frivolous, ephemeral thing that is just out there, the reality is it will end in disaster. And that's why I say money cannot be the basis for which you marry. It is important, but it won't be.
It wouldn't work.
So you will be single?
No, listen, no.
Because the girl you want, let me tell you a reality, Kwach. The girl you're looking for is if you're in Ziwani, the girl you're looking for is in a different social status right now.
Today, we know it's very possible, and we know a lot of people do this. In fact, I would say the majority, yeah? I can buy a wife.
You can?
Yes. You throw enough money at the problem.
No, you can buy a woman, but you can't buy a wife.
You can't buy a wife.
No.
True.
I can buy a woman.
But you can't buy a wife.
To her, she'll say yes.
Because you have the appearance.
She will be your woman.
Okay, I feel. By the way, let's give him time.
Hang on.
People do that.
Let me rephrase it. You can't buy a woman. You can buy a good time. You can't even buy a woman. You can buy a good time. But you cannot buy a woman. And you cannot buy a wife.
No, you can't actually buy a woman.
No, you cannot. You can buy.
You can
hire a maid. You can hire a maid. You can hire a maid.
Okay. No. They're classified. I'm telling you, 3 pages, by the way.
What? You have to respect.
And they can even come and cook for you, and then you pay the man.
No, I think he was trying to go somewhere. He has an idea. Sorry.
Okay.
Let's hear. Even if it doesn't make sense, let him have his.
I know guys who say, you know what? Okay, now I'm ready to settle down, and this year I want to get married. Okay. Then he'll sit under the tree wherever, okay? And then he'll say, okay, that's a good-looking woman. Hi, let's have a chat. Are you single? Da-da-da-da. Caught you. 12 months down the road. Will you marry me? Done and dusted. okay? But vice versa, the question here is, would I basically now marry a woman who basically, she also just looks at me like, this guy, he's not the main provider. Never, ever. Because I'm not talking, as you said early on, that, yeah.
Gosh, don't you believe in love?
In the socio
Don't you believe in love?
But what is
affection?
No,
this
no.
is like a
That's why they say
meeting.
love
This is like
is
a boardroom
blind.
arrangement.
That's why they say love is
It's like
blind.
you're arranging a relationship like, okay, I'm ready now. I want a woman. I go and identify a beautiful woman. Yeah. And then if she has more money than me, I stay away. Come on, Kwach, why do you think that you will always be poor? Why do you think that you have nothing more to offer?
I would date her. I would never marry her. Because then she's the one, I would be the one carrying a handbag.
So you're just wasting your time and her time.
What do you mean?
You would date her, but you would never marry her. Why are you dating them?
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you go to your league?
Maybe it's for the strokes. Maybe it's just for the good time. Maybe because I know she could take me to Monte Carlo.
But
I've never been there.
You're not real.
Sorry, we're running out of time. Closing thoughts. Kwach.
Listen, if you're a guy and you're planning on getting married, do yourself a very, very, very big favor. If she's wealthier than you, not by 10,000, 50,000, yani she just comes from a different socio-economic bracket, date her, chew the damn thing, never, ever get married to her.
I abbreviate it into something called WAFT. Work at the relationship. Have some kind of accountability and have the correct foundations, good foundations. You can't base a solid marriage on ephemeral, flimsy things.
I agree with the pastor here, 100%. Money is not the main thing. But if you're not a confident man and your ego is so big, stay away from women who earn more than you.
Absolutely. I agree.
Well, you've heard it from both sides. You've been watching Mentality